Building your fire, you all, in extreme conditions. You have seen me do this several different times in several different ways. You know that I can start this fire as a mountain man in these conditions. What I'm going to show you today, you all, is the scenario, and I'm going to be using a ultimate match that was sent to me to do a review on, and it's an extreme conditions match. The conditions this morning, you guys, is in the 30s. It rained half the night last night, and then it started to snow. So everything, you guys, is wet. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is the fact that in these conditions, you guys, people get lost. And once they've been lost 24 hours, most of the time, 24 hours, that their mindset is in survival mode. So if in the middle of a boreal forest like this one right here, meaning there's nothing but woods everywhere, there's no openings, and you know that searchers are searching for you with helicopters or planes, and on the ground, of course, you'd want to build yourself a signal fire and get that thing going so that if you heard an airplane in the area, they can't see you down inside this forest. There's just no way they can do that, hardly at all. Now, I know they have heat-seeking drones and all that kind of stuff, but imagine yourself being out here in these woods, and you've been lost for 24 hours. You've done run out of your food, and you need to get a signal fire going so that they can see that smoke and come and rescue you. So I'm going to show you guys how to build that signal fire in this particular scenario, and we're going to be using the ultimate match in this video, okay? So let me get the stuff. Okay, so we got to get this material up off of the ground so that when we start this fire that it will continue to burn. And I'm noticing right now these dried limbs upon these trees are so wet, you guys, that they're actually springy. They ain't crackly. Now you all, if it was pouring the rain, which I was hoping it was going to be this morning when I come out here to do this, but it's not. Still yet, I'm still going to show you guys how to do this right here. So I found some bark. The bark, you guys, is there to shed the water off of that fire until we can get it going. Okay. It's also to shed the wind off of it, okay? In this case scenario, you guys, we got a lot of wind blowing this morning. And I can tell you all, even from experience, even people who have been going in the mountains for years can get lost in a situation where they don't know where they're at. And they need to be rescued, and there's people looking for them. The faster that you can get rescued, the more, safe it's going to be for you, because the longer the time goes, 24, 48 hours, a week's time being out there and not being rescued is not funny at all, and lots of people do not survive. Okay. So you all, in these conditions and in this particular scenario, this might be the only chance that you get to get this fire started. So everything has to be done correctly. just because you got a match doesn't mean that all this wet material right here will catch up, you guys. So somewhere around here, I'm going to see if I can find some fat wood. I'm sure that I can. I'll have to get my hatchet out and chop it out. But let me see if I can find some before we even attempt to get this going. Because once we strike the match, the ultimate match, and we put it in here, we want that to be the only time we have to strike a match, you guys, okay? And get this fire started. And you can imagine, if there's somebody looking for you up there in an airplane, you're going to want to get your fire going really, really quickly so that the smoke can rise up through the tops of these pine trees. All right, y'all, I did the best I could to get some. The stuff is wet. By the way, if you hadn't ordered you one of these little hatchets yet for $16, you better order you one while they last, you guys. All right, you all, I'm getting inside of this dry wood right here. It's wet on the outside, but on the inside it's dry. So we're making kindling out of it, you guys. So we've got that fat wood down in there. Hopefully that'll go. All right, you all. The EG Survival Company, the ultimate match. Ignite, combust, survive. This survival match, you guys, is a one-time deal. They come 3 in a pack. I'm going to give you all some close-ups of that before I do this, okay? Ultimate Survival Match. EG Survival Company. And you can Google that, you guys, and find this match right here. But like I say, there's 3 of them to a box. They don't have to be stored in the box, you guys. There is if you all can see that right there, you might be able to scan that and go right to it, I don't know. But since we've got this paper, let's just go ahead and stick that on in there, because that's going to help us out. All right. So to ignite these things, you guys, you pull out the side. See that? You couldn't put that out if you wanted to. Simply stick that down in there and let it start your fire. Now, that you see me do that, if the conditions of your fire, if you haven't got those things correctly, you guys, this thing burns for 1 minute before it goes out, okay? This is not to be used by children. This is not to be played with. This is not to be used in confined spaces, you guys. Do not point it towards your face or anybody else's face. This match will stay lit underwater, and if you don't believe that, you can watch videos of it bubbling underneath the water once it's been pulled, okay? But you can still hear it burning. Let me show you. You can still hear it sizzling. And you can count, you all, I'm not going to do a cutaway on that. You can count the minutes that you can hear that thing sizzling in there. That means it's still putting out fire. Now you all, you can see how smoky that is. Naturally, that's what wet wood's going to do while it's trying to catch up. But the center of it has got to be hot enough, long enough to get the rest of this material burning right here, you guys. Now you all see, pay attention to how the TP fire works. It's sort of a windbreaker while it dries out your material, okay? If the smoke don't put your eyes out. So you all, now we have a fire started right here. That when the plane comes over, we're going to continue to just keep this fire going, okay? So that when that plane comes over, they can see that smoke going up. Now you can see that that the wind is changing in different directions and taking that smoke out on toward the ground. So what I would do if this was a real scenario is I would go over here and get some green leaves off of any kind of plant, you guys, whatever's in here. The green stuff is going to start making. So now not only, guys, can we cook with our survival fire, or we can stay warm and not freeze to death by that signal fire, but we can also, when we see a plane in the area and we hear that in the area, we can take some green stuff and you can look at the smoke that it's putting off now, you guys. I'll get out of your way there so you can see that. There's how you're calling in your airplane. You're not just calling it in with a fire burning, okay? You're calling it in with smoke. So you get you a whole bunch of green stuff and you just pile it on your fire and just let that smoke go up so that you can be rescued. I'll show you that again. The ultimate match. Ignite, combust, survive. The EG Survival Company. And they got a little pull string. Now remember, if you get these things, pay attention to the instructions. Don't pull this thing up like this, you guys. Pull it straight out. That's going to ignite your match, okay? Like I say, these are a one-time deal. They burn for approximately 1 minute. You cannot put them out. You can't shake them out. The wind will not blow them out. You can actually drop these in water and pick them back up and they will still be burning. All right, you all, one more time. Where can you get these things at? The ultimate match. Ignite, combust, survive. The EG Survival Company. It is distributed in the USA by Third Light LLC. Third Light LLC. Okay? That's what you want to type in, www.egsurvival.com, www.egsurvival.com. That's where you can get these things, okay? All right then, you all. I hope you learned something in this video. What's it all about? These things are not just your everyday, I want to go out here and just build me a fire match, okay? That's not what these are for. These are for emergency fire, when you really got to have a fire in any type of weather conditions, okay? Especially when you need to be rescued and you need to build yourself a rescue signal fire, okay? These aren't just made just to make yourself some beanie weenies, okay? That's what they're for. Thank you all so much for watching, you all. God bless you. You all have a wonderful day.